Good morning, Lifeboat. You're on the Lifeboat. Good morning, YouTube. This is Captain Calhoun speaking, and you might notice we have a very different setup, or a slightly different setup today. That's because I'm gonna be joined by a certain someone, but not right this second. I caught that mosquito. I don't know if you saw that, but I let it live. Dale Cox, good morning. Jason P, Anon, hello. I don't know if I've ever said hello to you, but welcome in. Shannon Smith, hello. Robin Miners, Riley S. What is going on, y'all? It is a good morning. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. It is. It is the third day of September. 3-2-1 Scoville time, y'all. We are going to just have a little bit of fun this morning, I think. Got my coffee. I was informed that we're saving the special tincture for the 3 Scoville moment, which bummed me out a little bit, but that is exciting. So we'll have to do some regular old tincture today, but that's all right. We've got the coffee, we've got the tincture, and my dad's putting his face on. Jane Aldrich, how are you doing? Good morning, all. Is this your big day with the Scoville units? We decided to postpone it till Johnny can join us. The Arabian Bard, good morning. Sarah Browett. How is everyone today? Body Illusion. What's going on? Scooby Lee.
Thanks, Spanky.
What's going on, Dad?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome in.
Yep. Love the setup.
Oh, yeah. I think actually if this is back just a little bit more, it'll catch more of us.
You guys can't see his setup, but holy crap, he's a pro. Like, he's got computers all over the place and things going on. And for real, like, Spanky knows what he's doing. I just hit record. But he's got the setup. I'm impressed. Miss Sunrise Dawn.
Miss Sunrise Dawn.
Non-smoker, you know. I have you guys everywhere. See this? I don't even have to stress.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Very cool.
You're surrounded by the crew.
I am.
Danette McClure, good to see you. Hello. I don't know if I've ever said hello to you either. Welcome in. TKK, hello. Good morning. Well, what should we talk about, Dad?
We could talk about all kinds of fun stuff.
How was your trip?
Well, look, the trip was tough. The airlines just stink these days. You know what I mean? They're just not very good. And I'll be honest, I get my airline tickets super cheap. Hey, Arwa, I get my airline tickets super cheap because I buy this unusual way of getting airline tickets where you might get on a Southwest flight to Denver and then catch a American Airlines flight for your next leg. Because what they do is they assemble one-way tickets to make your round trip, and you get it really, really cheap. But sometimes the time in between, they only gave me 35 minutes, and we waited 30 minutes for the plane to back out, and I ended up missing the flight.
Oh,
which, you know, on Labor Day, if you don't miss a flight, I guess you won the lottery because everybody in the airport was having a pretty bad day.
Interesting. That's probably why I forgot that it was Labor Day.
Kevin Hawthorne, good to see you, Kevin.
Lumen, hello.
Love Kevin Hawthorne. Good man.
Lakeland,
Lumen, good
Florida.
to see you. Lakeland, Florida. That's right.
Yeah. I think my screen is melting from all the hotness on there, says Miss Sunrise Dawn.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Possibility.
Thanks, Miss Sunrise. This is the first morning Lifeboat I've caught in a while. Happy to be here. We're stoked you're here as well, Lumen.
This is the second or third I've caught recently.
Yeah.
I actually lurk and spank you show a lot.
We're getting pretty used to it.
Yeah, but if I say hello, then everyone says hello, and the next thing you know.
Shout out to Miss Dragon for these mugs, by the way.
How cool are these, right?
You seen this? I got a baby dragon, dude.
How cool is this? This is absolutely, yeah, she's got skills. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. I hope everyone's having a good morning. I had my emails, since you've started to do a lot of the heavy lifting, now most of the emails I get, I say to people, hey, it's usually me requesting something. And I've had a lot of really heavy emails lately.
I have been also getting a lot of heavy emails lately. I think it's because it's the beginning of the month and we put up that post about stories.
Yeah.
It's OD Awareness Day, or it was.
It was, yeah. It's it really is a tough time right now. It really is a tough time. If you, God forbid, man, if any of us were in the game, the way we were, if we were in the game today,
scary.
There'd be 6 people in the chat because the rest of us would probably have not made it. It's the drug supply is so damn dangerous out there. It really is terrifying.
We should talk more about that. because I experience like when I leave the house, it's in front of your face, no
It
matter
is.
where you go.
It is. You go to the bus
Pretty
stop. You go
wild.
anywhere you go.
It's pretty wild. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but it's definitely like that in Arizona. We've got Narcan on hand. I keep
Never
it
leave
on
home
me.
without it. You can't.
No, I actually had it on me at Comic-Con. It's the
That would be a great place to have it on you.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I ran into some characters from my shooter game. I've been playing this game called Escape from Tarkov. Tarkov, like this fictional Russian town in northwestern Russia, and it's like become a special economic zone, and all the civilians have evacuated, and it's just a war zone, right?
Okay.
There's like private military companies and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But it's a realistic shooter.
And you play with these folks?
And I play with my friends, and I ran into some characters dressed up like
Oh yeah.
people from the game, and it was like I had like a little fanboy moment, like, oh, I'm too nerdy, It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
If you do not feel nerdy at Comic-Con, I don't want to be your friend. Like if you can't go there, there's something for everybody to nerd out on at Comic-Con.
The first thing we ran into was so many Pokemon that I could have swam in them, like stuffed animal Pokemon. There was mountains of them. Yeah, I took pictures. I'll show you.
No way.
I also I'm a limited.
Oh, so you were fanboying before you got at the front door.
It was 100% fanboy time.
Good. Tina Marie, good to see you. Good to see you. Jane Aldrich, what's happening? You know who's here? Kristen Mullen.
The mighty KM, yeah.
She's one of my favorite people. I don't know if I ever told you that. Kristen Mullen's great.
Ben Baconvitz has a way with.
Kristen Melinda, I was stranded so long in Dallas, you could have made me lunch. You're from Dallas, I think. She's from Dallas. Oh, you might be from Houston. Anyway, I was in Texas for a long freaking time yesterday. A lot longer than I wanted to be. No offense to anybody in Texas. I really dig Texas. I just don't dig airports, as a rule of thumb.
In Texas.
Yeah. Sarah Brock, good to see you. Glad you're here.
Lacey Silver, cup of coffee. What's going on, y'all? Millie, always a pleasure.
Cup of coffee?
Yeah. That's one of our regulars.
Did I lose the accent, though? I was trying to unaccent it.
It's supposed to coffee it right up.
A cup of coffee.
Instead, a cup of coffee.
They used to say to you, Rex would go off. You go, man, if they hear a New York accent, we're not going to make any money. People do not like, honestly, no offense, anything, well, we're all New Yorkers in my line of the family, but there's this conception about people from New York that, we might try to get over on you, and that we're not kind either, which is not the case at all. New Yorkers are some of the kindest people I've ever met. They just they don't waste a lot of time,
which I'm a fan of. It can be seen as crass or rude, but I mean, if we're all getting to the money, let's go. Let's go. Anon says, wait, you play Tarkov? Do you stream it? Love watching that game. I have not streamed it yet, but I could. I definitely could. I have the setup for it. I have attempted to stream a bunch of stuff, and I'm still figuring all that out. But Tarkov is my definitely my current addiction. It's definitely the thing that I'm putting needless hours into at this point in time. So if I get that figured out, Anon, I will shoot you the deets. And I shouldn't say if. When I get that figured out, I'll shoot you the deets. I've just been learning the game still, actually. I'm pretty new. I've only been playing it for a couple weeks. So
New York. The city's so nice they named it twice. I've always liked that, by the way. I was going to kick out of that.
But I'm level like 30 already, so I'm kicking major butt.
Yeah, Calhoun, you should do some streaming.
I think the game stream is hard to be proud of myself. It's like, well, I do this, so I don't have to be proud of myself doing the game thing.
Well, you can suck. It just gives some people stuff to watch while you're talking to them.
No, I just mean like the reason I haven't done it yet is because I didn't want that to be my living.
I got you.
It's hard to like.
Makes perfect sense.
What do you do for a living? Oh, I play video games.
No, you're right.
It's like I don't think that's the move.
No, I never would have talked to you again. That makes way more sense when you say it.
No, but I can do that for fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sunrise dawn. Are you all right? What's up?
I'm gonna do some scrolling.
Yeah.
If we had two mouses, I don't know if that's a thing.
No, it's a terrible concept. We would mouse fight. We can't have that. Seriously, it'd be anarchy. You can't have two people running a mouse. Right? There would be fights.
Body Illusion says, Captain Admiral, I look up actors I haven't seen in a while, and like, where are they now? Kind of context. And more times than not, they're gone due to overdose.
Isn't that awful? And it's a fact. And I'll tell you something. I'm curious to how many people we lost before they really started doing a much better job at this, because
how much was attributed to
right, whatever.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
a lot of the especially the opiates currently, the stuff that's out there, you might have to specifically test for that. It's not like the old days where everything just trips for morphine or whatever. Normally you're gonna you any
It's
opiate
this
is gonna
one.
end up tripping the
It's
cup or the
that,
pistos.
that one.
Which one? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Sunrise. Now, here's the thing. One of the problems, and people experience this across the board when we start to quit any substance, right? You've been now a non-smoker for a hot minute. You're over 100 days, I believe. But you got to realize that for a really long time, anytime you started feeling a little less than how you wanted to feel, you could double your dopamine level. Nicotine, a cigarette, literally dopamine times two, right? For every cigarette. It's the
Which is
reason it's so viciously
Yeah,
addictive.
I was about to say that's definitely the reason it's so hard to quit.
Straight up, straight down, right? That's why you had people that used to, chain smoke 2 packs a day. Terrible, terrible. So that's the bad news. The good news is if you understand that that's what's happening, you just have to start supplementing things that are going to get that dopamine level up that are healthy.
Yeah. New
So
hobbies, novel things.
the reason I wasn't sitting down next to Calhoun right before we went live is I'm not very good in the brain department in the morning, right? The problems that I do have with focus and clarity and things and cognitive problems,
I'll be right back.
I really struggle in the morning. It's usually the opposite for most people. As the day goes on, they tend to start slipping. That's not the case with me. First thing in the morning, I'm not all that sharp, and I was just struggling through some stuff that I couldn't remember, and then I was just having a tough morning. So I got up. I need to mess with my dopamine levels, right? That's not something I can't. So I went over and started busting out some push-ups, doing some dry squats, things that I knew were going to force my body to start releasing chemicals.
If I'm struggling before a show, I do the exact same thing. I will do push-ups until my body gets a physical change, which will either be a little bit of perspiration, I'll get out of breath, or maybe my muscles don't want to do push-ups anymore, right? We'll get a physical response, though, from the body, and then we'll reevaluate.
100 days cigarette free tomorrow. Now, keep in mind, right?
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's epic. You're a non-smoker.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, you're a non-smoker.
You're a non-smoker.
But for about the first 2 months, you're still a smoker who's not smoking. You understand what I'm saying? That during that process of, like, I was a heroin addict that wasn't using heroin for about 3.5 years, before I finally started to change up everything about who I was so that I could start to sort of acclimate to the new life. It's not like that with smokes. But for the first couple of months, you're riding a high of, oh my God, I'm not smoking, right? You're thinking about it. Things are starting to taste different. They call it a pink cloud. You've probably heard that term, right? Or the honeymoon phase, because you're just so excited about the fact that, you're making changes. Then all of a sudden, as that levels out and that excitement isn't there anymore, then you're going to start to realize that your dopamine levels aren't getting increased whenever you want. And that starts to be an issue. So you're going to have to start being cognitive of just knowing that that's when you start feeling that way. Hey, this is probably when I would have lit a cigarette and literally taken my feel-good chemicals and doubled them for about 10 minutes.
Well, it's also worth mentioning, Miss Sunrise Dawn, you said you're about at 100 days. The reason they give out chips at the times that they give them out in the 12-step program is because the natural process that your body goes through to detox is a lot longer than it takes to stop smoking, right? So 90 days is a big moment for your body and it like returning to a different state, to a normal state. So it makes sense that you will be experiencing more struggles now than you did, a couple weeks ago. And when you get to your 6 months or your year, you're probably going to have a little bit of the same thing going on. It's going to be a rise and fall cycle, maybe even a spiral, right? Coming back all the time kind of cycle. But every time it comes back, we get to, we don't have to, we get to assert our dominance over it again.
That's right. Come up with new methods to start getting those brain chemicals to work for you, not the other way around, right? Getting your brain to start kicking that crap out. Novel things.
Yeah, fun things.
Yeah. Novelty is what always will bring on the fastest way to get dopamine into your body. The fastest way is to do novel things that you've never done before. It's for excitement. It's for novelty, right? Huge. It's why when you're a kid, you remember everything because you're doing it for the first time. So you're getting you're literally getting it imprinted on your brain. You have all of these chemicals that drive those memories home. And as you get older, it's like, I've done this a million times. Well, if you've done it a million times, you're not remembering it the same way because you're not getting it imprinted onto the striatum with the use of brain chemicals. So we need new novel things. Hey, Lori Abs, good to see you.
Lori Abs, Beta, what's going on? Millie the Dandelion, Sanitarium Radio, Flick Fox. No apologies. I'm glad you're here. Lino, hello, hello.
You do have a sort of a dulcet tone as well, Calhoun.
Lino says, my last chat with my therapist told me not to let coping mechanisms go before replacing it with another, hopefully more healthy.
That's a great piece of advice.
I would have to agree.
It really is. That's a great piece of advice. Now, I would say that the exception to that rule is if your coping mechanism requires you breaking the skin with a needle, right? If we're doing things, if our coping mechanisms threaten our lives, then we're going to have to probably toss those away and deal with a little bit of the blowback, so to speak. But that's why harm reduction, in my mind, is such a beautiful concept. As somebody so eloquently, I wish I remembered who said it, but somebody on the boat said how the meshing of the sobriety and the harm reduction come together, and that's exactly what happens. They start cutting down on how much they're using and cutting down on how much they're using, and seamlessly, one day you're sober.
It's a common goal. They're just different tools, right?
Doing them you don't have to follow anybody's game plan. And if somebody tells you how you have to get sober, find someone else because they're an idiot.
They call that a program. You get to create your own program.
That's right. Build your own. Build your own.
And that BYO, build your own. Absolutely. Mine, sadly, is food, says Lino.
Ms. Sunrise Dawn says, hubby and I have been fighting more lately, and I find myself wanting to go outside and smoke every time. Yesterday, I found a good distraction, walking the dog. You know what? You're going to have a very, very happy dog. I would start doing more things exactly like that. Go outside, walk, novelty, right? Even if you've been there a million times, everything outside you is going to be different each time we go there. So car goes by, right? All of those things that distract you make you not think about, things like the fact that you're not smoking. But the start of that, hubby and I have been fighting a lot more lately. I wonder why that might be. Honestly,
probably because when
I quit, man, I'm on edge, right? Or again, one of the reasons it's so important that my son does these shows in the morning is because I'm not. Am I the same cat in the morning? I really struggle. Like the mornings are hard for me.
I don't know if I should say that.
I have a tough time in the morning.
You're different a lot of the times. It's not just the mornings. It's like day to day.
Yeah, the mornings are bad. They're predictably bad. They really are. And it's great that, it's not bad to be able to come here and do this. It's a lot less pressure. But if I had to do this every morning, there's no way I could pull it off.
Oh, dude, I carry it. I got it.
There's no way.
I have a million things to say.
Whenever a disco song is playing, I cope by shoving a number 2 pencil in my eardrums. The sweet release from the noise is worth the pain. You gotta love Jeremy Shaw. Gotta love Jeremy Shaw. He meant bad disco, because you do know there's bad disco. There is, but there's great disco. Take Donna Summer, for instance. You don't like Donna Summer?
The only disco I know is Saturday Night Fever, baby.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with the Bee Gees. Nothing wrong with the Bee Gees. Good stuff.
Mrs. G, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. I met a new neighbor today, working on sobriety, and I shared the boat with her.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, heck yeah. Zelda Z, I don't know if I said hello yet, but good morning. I see you.
It's fun to get together and talk addiction with Spanky. The truth of the matter is, he's got Spank's always had a really good handle on this because he did so much work within the 12-step realm and is spent a lot of time around a lot of people. Rocket Queen, good to see you. Who sobriety was a very big part of his youth and his life. But I think since you started coming here and doing this, your ability to articulate your concepts and your thoughts on it are getting a lot better. So
I am definitely.
You're a lot of fun these days.
Experiencing improvement. I appreciate you saying that. I actually judge a lot of where I'm at based on what you tell me.
Well, you're doing
because I do have to say, I do have an element of naivety. Sometimes it's hard for me to put things in perspective. I know it's funny. We talk about perspective all the time. But when it comes to certain things, like my performance, right? Or, it's hard to put into words as well. But I need
it's-
someone else to tell me what it looks like.
Well, you know what it is? There's no point of reference if it's the first time you're doing something. This is an interesting concept, too, because we do this as human beings constantly. I'll use Quibs because she's fun to use. As an example, I will use Quibs as an example. She will say things about content creators all the time, and I'll say, that person doesn't do that kind of content. You know, I don't think they would be comfortable doing an hour or two live. And she gives you a look like the golden retriever. You know this one? Why wouldn't they be comfortable doing it? Because most people will not sit in front of a camera and talk. Like she truthfully did not understand the concept that most people are afraid of public speaking. This is not a concept that Quibs.
Okay.
Because she was raised in a cult and didn't spend a whole lot of time talking to people outside of that cult. Within the cult of Scientology, those kind of things don't exist because you would just get on the cans and get it fixed. LRH can fix anything.
Get on them cans.
On them cans.
Rocket Queen, good morning.
Here I am.
Jeremy Fowler, hello.
You Rocket Queen, oh yeah. Hello, Millie.
Well,
Millie the Dandelion.
you know, I was just thinking we should get together just like this, but we should have a topic of discussion and we should strictly discuss it with each other. I think that when there's two people, like if it's just me talking to the camera, I have a stream, right?
Mhm.
If it's two of us sitting on a couch talking to each other, it's a podcast, right?
Yeah.
What we're doing now is we're kind of both streaming at the same time, but we can change the format just a little bit and we can have a topic of discussion. And the first half, we can just literally have a dialogue about it. And then the second half of the show, we can open it up and interact. And I think that would be really cool. I think it would be just slightly different from what we normally do, enough to be novel.
Yeah. Hey, Bart, you probably just got a comment removed. The reason is, I try not to talk about anything here that's going to get people to want to use, right? I can tell you that I think that the most addicting way to do a drug varies from one person to the next. I have watched people who intravenously use drugs and were able to do that for long periods of time and seemed fine. And then when they came back, started to smoke it or whatever, and was instantly stomach addictions is what they refer to it as. If you start smoking any chemical, it tends to addict you differently. And it does something with the stomach that when you go into withdrawal is much worse. But that's why it was deleted. It's usually I don't answer those.
Boofing has been coming up every morning. I don't know if it's for real or if it's trolling, but I keep banning the people.
Okay.
But yesterday, after I banned someone, we had a dialogue about it. And it did seem like there was some curiosity. But I have to say, it's really hard for me to believe that anyone's actively boofing.
Oh,
like if you boof once, do you boof twice?
Oh, yeah. No,
is that a thing?
No, this is a thing. And here's why. And I agree with you. I would have said the exact same thing probably at your age and at that fate when I was your age in my life. But what I have found is this. There are people who will wear out every vein in their body. So their options then become what is referred to as a skin pop, where you're just going under the skin, right? The problem with a skin pop is you're taking a foreign substance and putting it into the subcutaneous layer of your body, which looks like a sponge. If you were to take a cutaway inside, when it gets in there, any of that foreign stuff, that's why anytime you miss, you get, these horrific infections. So the other option is they break the tip off and put it in their rectum. I would not recommend doing this because it's a pretty dangerous thing, I think, to leave a pile of drugs in a place like that.
Well, not only that, you're bypassing your body's filtering system, the liver and the kidneys. That tissue inside of there is some of the most sensitive tissue you've got on your entire body.
Yeah.
It's really necessary
more mucous membranes in there than any other place.
For intaking nutrients into your body, you need your butt to be working properly. You don't want to damage that. Imagine putting something in there that's going to burn you, like a chemical burn. I've gotten chemical burns on my gums from doing drugs the regular way. Imagine getting them on the inside of your butt.
No,
I would not recommend boofing in any capacity.
I would not either. And I get it in emails, which would lead me to believe that it's not people that are just trying to be trolls. But one of the questions that comes up often is this a safe way to?
No.
It is not.
No.
Absolutely not. You can overdose quickly that way.
One of the quickest ways.
Can you put those up?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Robin Miners looking good in green. So great to see two Scovilles on one couch.
Thank you, Robin Miners.
Kathy Kewen.
You know what? I am green with envy Tommy, I can't wait to sit on a sofa next to my son. You guys look good together. You know what? I can't wait to see you sit on a couch with your boy. I was just talking about your boy before we went live, actually.
Yeah, we have some letters.
Yeah. So I love a comeback story more than anybody in the world, and there are always going to be people on this planet that believe you can come back from anything. We're not going to be the lion's share. I promise. The vast majority of society thinks that people like us are beyond redemption, but I really struggle with that. I know there are people who are, but your boy isn't one of them. So looking forward to seeing him thrive.
Flick Fox has this to say about my idea for us sitting on the couch. I agree. Questions after will probably help with keeping the train of thought on track. You'll also be able to use more of your educational info that aren't broken up by comments for YouTube Shorts. I think that's a apt observation. I think those are definitely reasons to give this a try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at all adverse to. Yeah, the do me a favor and piss off into the night. Lori Up says, "What? You love this?" You know, here's the thing: sitting down and just letting it kind of free flow. I can understand why, especially from Spanky's point of view, this is probably the most uncomfortable thing in speaking that you can do, right? To sit down and sort of free flow with no idea where something is going is not usually considered fun by most people, and it's horrific if there's two people doing it because you can end up in two different directions.
The ebb and flow is very
on one
tricky.
another.
But we kind of grew up together.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the one reason that I don't think this is much of a problem is we did kind of
time.
We did kind of grow up together, right? To be sure. There for Spanky there in the developmental days.
Helena Flock of Swan Bones, always a pleasure to see you. How are you today?
Hold on 1 second. I can't. Let's see who that is.
Cup of Coffee says, I never knew that's what that was called. My Bill and ex-husband referred to each other as boof.
Oh, is that right?
That's hilarious.
That's too funny. And nothing else matters. All right, it's the spirit.
Sarah Browett says, I think it's the cutest thing seeing you both together, and my heart is happy seeing you in the same space, though I know missing Reese and Huxley must be a hard pull as well.
You know what?
I'm glad you both.
It's maybe together. We can maybe someday we'll all be in the same place.
I think that's quite possible.
I think there's a pretty good chance that can happen.
The Mormon Tabernacle Choir is neither Mormon nor a tabernacle nor a choir. Discuss. Well, I don't know really about all of that, but I will say that there's I think it's a bar restaurant in Salt Lake called the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of making fun of the culture in the culture.
You might not remember this. We were this close to having the greatest bar. We tried to open a place in Utah called Jack Mormon's.
They have Jack Mormon's coffee now. Yeah, they stole your idea.
Yeah, Rex Jed and I tried to open up a place and call it Jack Mormon's.
Jack Mormon coffee is very successful. We had right next to my friends.
We had the T-shirts and everything. It was great. The legend of Jack Mormon. He had the whole thing. We had to go to the city council. City council wouldn't have any part of it.
They literally have it now, though.
Well, it's 2024.
I guess that's different.
The bar would have been great. You should have seen the guy. He stood like this, and he had one hand behind his back, and he was holding a bottle, and there's all these different things, and the joke was, why you take two of them with you every time you go fishing, because if you bring one, he'll smoke all your dope and drink all your beer.
Hi, Captain, not good actually, says Helena. Nerve pain is killing me.
Oh, no.
The last 3 days, but it does my heart good to see the two of you together. Appreciate you both loads.
I love you, Helena. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Let's get some ones up for Helena,
Please.
And I forget who else. But whoever's struggling, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I know that there's probably more than that struggling out there today, but let's put some ones up for our loved ones and our crew that need it.
Yeah.
Leno's feeling out for a new therapist.
Good
luck. There are good ones out there. It's really just comes down to if you're jiving, right? If you guys get along.
Bingo.
Gypsy Soul.
And
Good
you
to
know
see
what?
you. Bead Maniac. Hello.
I don't care if you feel like, oh, thanks, Jen. You know what? It's heartwarming being together. It truly is.
It is, Dad. I love you.
If you, it doesn't, don't feel bad firing these people. You know, I'm serious. I struggled so hard with that. You know, I would get to the point where I'd be like, you know what? I feel bad because I've already told 4 people that I don't want to work with them.
Right.
But if I had stopped doing that, I mean, if I hadn't stopped doing that, I would have missed Chris. And uh, it's crazy, but there are very few people in my life where I go, no matter what happens ever, that person will be in my life until the very end. Like family, Chris. There's no chance that woman won't be there.
The biggest struggle in that for me is taking the time to find another. It's like I have to go to square one and start the game all over again every time. And that's the biggest, like, I don't care fired people. If they need to be fired, they're getting fired, believe that. But I definitely don't want to go do the legwork all over again every time.
Yep. Celino says, yeah, I'm too much of a people pleaser. You know who the person you have to please is?
Yourself.
You. I promise you. The most important thing in the world is making sure that, I mean, think about what this person's doing, right? Maybe we need to think about this logically, right? We're not going in here to talk to this person so that we feel better afterwards. That's not what we're doing. This person is going to be a guide, right? To help you navigate your own brain to figure out who you are and what's going wrong. That's kind of a big friggin' deal, isn't it? So if you don't feel like the individual you're talking to is somebody that is capable of being that guide, doesn't mean they got to be a genius or beautiful. Or you just have to believe that their style is going to allow you to do what you have to do. Because no therapist is going to save you. The therapists don't walk on water or do any of those things. They just help you look at who you are.
Kristen says a good litmus test is this. If you'd like to cuss when you're not editing yourself, cuss in front of your therapist. See how they hang in there. I'm having a hard time understanding what you're saying, but I think I get the gist.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you're not editing yourself? What does that mean?
In other words, if you're a guy that drops F-bombs constantly, unless you're around certain people, like normally you curse all the time unless we're filming, or normally you curse all the time unless you're in front of your mother or whatever, then do that in front of your therapist. And if your therapist looks horrified, maybe they're not your pet.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, if a couple curse words are going to get under your skin, we're not going to get along.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't curse up a storm, but it's hard for me to relate with that sentiment.
But that's a
curse words are
perfect example. Then
that's
something
I don't know.
That would be that's a great example. Then it works perfectly. She's right.
There are words that are as fingernails to a chalkboard to my brain, but even, I mean, you're probably just going to get an eyebrow raised at you.
Gypsy Soul says, as a therapist, I agree. It happens. I have given 3 references I think may be a good fit. The therapist typically does not get hurt feelings when not clicking. I agree.
If you're ever having trouble chasing it, I'll put it up here.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I never felt like any of the ones that I said to them, hey, this isn't a good fit. I never felt like one of them was like, oh, how dare you? I never got that vibe. Yeah, I never got that vibe.
They're used to it for sure. Therapists should meet someone where they are. That's kind of how we like to do things here.
That's the idea.
On that subject, we are not licensed therapists or doctors or anything.
No, recovering drug addicts.
We are recovering drug addicts.
You're going through trying to change doctors, but it's hard to switch because they may not prescribe my 2 hydro a day. I wish I could interview them first. You know what? I'm not sure you're right. Honestly, if I in my experience, anytime I've gone from one doctor to the next, they've taken care of all of that. They're not going to argue the last the last instructions of the doctor before you. That's been my experience. Yeah, I've never gone to a doctor and had him go, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing what the last doctor did. It's not like hairdressers. Usually it's just a matter of sticking with the same routine. Nerve, yeah, we make sucky nerve pain look amazing. I like it. Nerve pain's the worst. It really is. There are a lot of people out there for whom opiates do nothing for nerve pain.
I want to speak on something. For those out there that are making fun of different methods to intake drugs, obviously have never had a drug addiction, have never been to the bottom of the barrel, have never had to pick themselves up off of the floor. If you're out there and you're trolling this community, you're a piece of garbage. You're lower than dirt. You're not a human.
Yeah.
What we do here is beautiful. What we do here is amazing. And if you can't see that, we're going to crush you.
Yeah, let's kick him out of here. Sarah Brown says Scoville coffee or whatever together. Yes, you know what, Sarah? How about we're going to put that to breakfast? I think Spanky and I are going to do a.
I would like that.
Yeah. Wanted to say thank you. Hold on. Wanted to say thank you. You reassured me 2 days ago my daughter will be fine in her new school. I'm going to be fine is sometimes everything I need, especially I'm the only one in my home who calms others down. Well, that is a gift. It's a beautiful thing if you're the person that brings peace into your family or into anything. If you're the calming voice, boy, I wish I was the calming voice more often. Really.
You just need a calming voice in your vicinity a little bit more often and you'll get better at it.
Jeremy Sheldon says, nerve pain is the worst. It drives me nuts when people have the nerve to say that ABBA is a good band. Well, look, they're no Bee Gees. I mean, I'll agree with you. They're not the Bee Gees, but they're a damn fine band. Kristen Melinda, you're better than that. DeAudrey Gorsh, don't encourage him. Jeremy Sheldon doesn't need any encouragement. Yes, Kathy, you know what? That's so funny. This is such a real thing. I used to get a bang out of people.
Bro.
Out of people that thought they were better because they only smoked dope and they didn't inject it. You know, here's the other funny thing, and most people who have been addicted can experience similar things. People will get very defensive of their drug of choice, right? So if you're addicted to H,
it's a romantic kind of relationship.
Absolutely, and the person that you're having a conversation with is addicted to, say, meth.
Yeah, they're dating someone else.
They're dating the two of them will argue over, I can't believe you do that garbage, That that's poison. It's now being out of the fishbowl and looking in. Good Lord, the hell were we?
Sarah Browett says, what you do is a gift. My cousin is okay now, but boy, I wish I knew about TLB years ago to share with him when he was at his lowest. I am grateful he is still here, but I see what you do and I love it. Well, thank you, Sarah.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. You know something? Here's the ironic
I'm glad your cousin's doing well, too.
Do you know the really ironic thing?
Huh.
The really ironic thing is this. The jack wagons that come to do that, that they're not people who don't know addiction. I know who these people are, and they're drug addicts.
Really?
Yeah. But
that's so interesting to
They're
me.
still in the life. So what we do, we're the nerds. They think that the getting high is still cool. Be a few more years.
They obviously haven't done a whole lot of getting high.
They'll get to that point. You know what I mean? We all do get to a point, sadly. I'm here to say I went to the movie Mamma Mia 5 times in the theater. No, you did not. And you're admitting that in front of everyone in God. God bless you. That is a lot of Mamma Mia in the theater.
Wow. This movie here?
That would be the one.
I've never seen this movie.
You haven't?
Why is it funny? What's this movie about?
Personally, I've never seen it. No, I do. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember.
Lino really likes it, so it
genuinely
must be good.
Hand me that trophy, please. Good Lord, how cool is that?
Who are we talking about?
Congratulations! I gotta find it. I had it, and then I lost it. How many days?
More than a month alcohol-free, genuine lay.
There you go. How fantastic is that?
Now
we're counting in months. That's a big deal. The official participation trophy of the lifeboat. Official why, Calhoun? Because I say it is.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking, I was daydreaming to myself.
Oh, wow. My goodness. Helena, flock of swan boats. When the nerves have been cut off, the ends bounce inside you with no outlet. Wow. It's painful, to say the least. 9 surgeries later, it really sucks. You know something? I know so many people who have started the process of having that kind of surgery. And someone just asked me about it the other day. Where you go in with a laser. Oh, you know who it was? But I don't want to say their names.
I can't even see it.
You went to his wedding. He married my niece. He just had the surgery on his back to kill off some nerves because he was.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, because he was so bad he couldn't stand up. And I said it starts a process of one surgery after another, after another, after another. That's for a lot of people. That's not such a good thing. Do you know the two guys from ABBA wrote the song "One Night in Bangkok"? Says Lumen. Well, I hope you feel pretty darn silly, Jeremy Shelton. That's a great song from the play Chess. I did not know that that was written by two people from ABBA. That's awesome. Shouldn't be surprised though. A lot of talent in that band. Surprised you didn't know that. A lot of talent. Oh, Nicola E says, I'd say I don't understand watching 5 times, but then I have lost count of how many times I have watched the Blues Brothers. You may not believe this. You may not believe this. But not knowing how many times you have seen the Blues Brothers, I would be willing to bet my life that I've seen it more. I had a really bad Blues Brothers problem for about a decade. I mean, a decade. I probably watched it every weekend for 10 years. We got really, really into it. My answering machine message used to be a clip from the Blues Brothers.
Really?
Yeah. When you called in, it was the scene with the penguin, the nun.
Mm-hmm.
It saddens and hurts me that the 2 boys I raised to believe in the 10 Commandments have returned as filthy sinners with bad mouths and dirty attitudes. Get out and don't come back until you've redeemed yourself.
I still have that.
Oh, you do?
You want to watch it?
I might. Mamma Mia is basically a musical with ABBA songs. Okay, yeah, I need that up there.
Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Fu singing.
I'm sorry, what? Mamma Mia is basically a musical with ABBA songs?
Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, and Colin Fu singing.
I am willing to get a migraine headache to see that.
I would not recommend.
I maybe I could just listen to it.
I like your brain in one piece.
I'd like to have Jeremy Shelton watch it with me.
Yeah.
Jeremy Fowler says the Blues Brothers problem is a great problem to have. I agree with you.
Through the Never? No, I have not watched that. I have not watched it.
Yeah, Nicola, I really had an issue. Me and my brother and a couple of other people would say we would pick, certain scenes from the, and ask, what line was said when or whatever, that kind of thing. We got really into it. We really got into it. Your mom was a big Blues Brothers.
Shout out to my mom.
You know what? What's the date?
Oh, it's the 3rd of September.
Is it the 3rd of September?
It is. Why? When's my mom's birthday? It already passed.
July. I called you and told you that.
Yeah,
day.
You did. I
always remind you to do that, even though we've been divorced for I don't know how long.
I appreciate that. I forget every year.
Yeah, I'm that guy. But no, what I was going to say is no idea. No idea what I was going to say. But couldn't have been that important. I don't even know where it started.
Yeah, my brain is not focused now.
Well, was trying to remember the limerick Ted Knight sang in Caddyshack before christening the boat. Hold on. It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But a man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat. Go ahead, Pookie.
What is that?
That is what he says before christening his boat, the Flying Wasp. I never bring up Caddyshack.
Don't even remember that scene at all.
Yeah, nobody.
It's probably been like over 10 years since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. But I saw it a lot.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Do I know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man? The one who lives on Drury Lane? I do.
Interesting channel. I love the movement you guys are pushing. I was recommended this channel from my chiropractor. Even some of the most professional people behind the scenes struggle with addiction. Garfunkel, thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Well, thank your chiropractor for us.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing. Yeah, everybody, I'll let you in on a secret, right? There's not a human being on planet Earth that does not struggle with addiction.
It doesn't have to be substances, right?
I promise.
You might be eating lots of food. You might be playing too many video games. You might have a sex addiction. It could be literally anything.
Rubbing one out.
You might just be hitting the gym way more than you really should be, right? It might be taking over your life. There's all kinds of things.
Thank you, Lumen.
Everybody's addicted to something.
Thank you, Lumen.
Bar none.
Yes, today is the 3rd day of September. That's what I was trying to remember earlier. We have a couple of people on the lifeboat who were born on the 3rd day of September. Old crew members, but crew members nonetheless. And I believe I should probably double check just in case this date's wrong, because then I would look so silly. But yeah, I will. And then I'll just give a shout out tonight. But I think we've got a couple of birthdays. I will just have to check to make sure. Welcome to the boat, Garfunkel. Glad you're here. There is not anybody. The reason we call this the lifeboat, right, is because everyone's in the same boat. Whether or not, what you're struggling with.
Wherever you're at.
Right. What you're struggling with is an addiction that, you're gambling, or you're, sticking needles in your arms, or you're snorting something, or you're doing any of these things. What drives us to make us want to do that feeling that we're just not quite right in our own skin without a little something to take the edge off, right? Whatever that is, that's universal. That's absolutely universal.
Good morning, Candy's Life. Good to see you. Why is everyone saying Papa was a Rolling Stone day?
Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Yeah, you don't know the song?
No, I always think of Bradley. I always think...
oh, yeah.
Daddy was a rolling stone. Oh, rolled away one day and never came home.
Jeremy Shelton says, I often struggle with the addiction of being awesome. You should try to maybe lay that down. It's probably going to be a little bit more difficult than you thought.
Yeah, once you're awesome, you don't go back.
Apparently, it's Papa was a Rolling Stone day. I kind of like it. That we should have more often. Piano Mom, good to see you.
Welcome in.
Property tax day. Wow, not a nice place to do property taxes.
Well, hey, you got some property.
The North and East. I know what part of the world Piano Mom is from. Same part of the planet.
When I was younger, I would pride myself, says Zelda Z, on being so strong and being able to stand and work all day without pain. Getting old is a rude awakening.
Oh, boy.
I feel like the harder that I've worked and like the more awesome adventures that I've been on, the more I've broken down this body, that carries me through the world. So I think that more fun and awesome equates to like more suffering later. Unfortunately.
There's something to that.
What is that frigging sound?
That's a ladder. That's an extension ladder. Okay. They're getting ready to put something up on the roof. I recognize that sound anywhere. I got this. Was riding a little dirt bike, sort of thrashing around in the pretending I wasn't in my 50s, and here's the thing. It's not like. I'm not going to go 100 miles an hour and jump and do things like I used to do. Like Those days are over. I'm just sort of riding around, in grass, and there's no jumping. There's no how hard can that be, right? And I said to Chris, I said, yeah, dude, we're going to open the gate. I said, let me in there. I'll go out for 2 or 3 hours.
You didn't hurt yourself, did you?
No, okay. Absolutely not. Okay. But I used to go out and ride bikes with friends, and we would run out of gas, have to go fill back up, right? Just in a day, 8-9 hours. I was out there 1 hour. I got off the bike. I was like, oh, right, trying to walk into the house. Right around that time, I thought, who should take this up is somebody a lot younger than
me. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you.
That's me.
Come out and ride with Hux. The two of you could probably do it. I had him in first gear going in circles. He's learning.
Welcome in, Jill. I'm awake, coffee beside me. Age is a luxury. Kristen Melinda also says, I'm psyching myself up to take my 5-year-old to the indoor playground. Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
He's so much faster than me. You got this.
The indoor playground. Are there tubes you can crawl through and all of that fun stuff?
Ball pits and whatnot.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with those. I really did. I had a lot of fun with those.
While I'm thinking about it, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a big difference for us. We would like to reach as many people as we can. And, it's interesting. The people that really, really need the boat, the people that we're really trying to reach, probably are going to have a harder time finding it just because of the circumstances of their situations. So
Absolutely.
The more we can spread the word, the better. Thank you all for being here. Y'all are the best crew a captain and admiral could ask for.
Trampolines too, says Kristen Melinda. I've never gotten to go play around in one of those. We missed our window, Calhoun.
Dude, I went to a trampoline park as an adult for my friend's daughter's birthday, and I got really high up in the air. I thought I was going to kill myself. I thought I was going to land somewhere and really, really hurt myself. It's not the same when you're a big person.
No.
Which is crazy because thinking back, you taught me how to do everything that I know how to do on the trampoline. And you were a huge man at the time when you taught me how to do that stuff. And I was just a little boy. And now, as a mid-sized human, it's terrifying to me to be on a trampoline. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine what it would be like for you.
I never liked them. I don't know if you remember me telling you that as a kid, but
That's amazing.
when I was
because
showing you what I was doing, I don't like trampoline.
you would literally let me ride you like a bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun on the trampoline. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the tramps.
Yeah,
Do you remember why we got one?
Uh,
Because you went to a party and the kids were such jerks about it. They were the older kids at the party. There was like 3 kids there that were all like 14, 15, somewhere in there, and they were jumping on it. And all of the other kids just stood there looking at it, going, "We can't do that. No, Mom doesn't let anybody. You got to be over 12 or 13 or something." So I was like, "Get in the car.
Yeah.
We'll go get one." The look on your face bummed me out so bad. I'm like, "We'll just go buy one."
Growing up in Salt Lake was rough.
There was also
There was not a nice kid anywhere.
They were a little cliquey.
There was not a nice kid as far as the eye could see.
We could be there for hours and he would still be saying 5 more minutes. You know something? That was I'm not joking at all. My parents used to go try to get my brother and I to stop skiing. And my brother would like drop to his back with ski poles and like, I'm not kidding. They tell stories. When he was a kid, he did not want to stop. He was really bad about it.
Love a late night boat to get through pain somnia. Well, thank you for your support, Helena. But man, I wish I could take your pain insomnia away.
Too. Me too.
Reminds me of a really good song.
How about this? I just saw it.
Who am I looking for?
No, hold on. Oh, I want a bouncy house for old people. Here's the thing. I have been saying for years that once you get past the age of about, 55, that they should all of us should move to a new place where everything is padded. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Like hallways, everything should just sort of be like bouncy house. They should have it from the time you're born to the time you're about 3, and then anything over 50. You fall down, not hurt, just run around.
I don't know exactly how.
See, Lena gets it.
How behind extending life I can really get. I think the natural order of things is to live and then to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that living to 150 is something that I want for myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think that, I think that medicine and health is it serves a great purpose, right?
Yep.
But I think that once when I get to a certain place, I think that I'm going to let it happen, man. I definitely, I do not want to extend my life indefinitely. I don't even want to extend my life as far as I possibly can. I would like to live a good one and then sayonara. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think a lot of people would just extend life indefinitely and not give it a second thought. Would you really want to live forever? Heck no. You know what I mean? Heck no. Especially if my body's falling apart. There's so many reasons I'm not into it.
Well, something? It's an interesting conversation. What I think it's a good idea that they continue to do what they're doing because like the end of life. What do they call those?
We should celebrate
wills,
the end of life.
Right?
It
Living
should be
wills
the biggest
and all of those
birthday
but
of
that's
all time.
But it's a very personal thing, right?
I guess that is
for
true.
the next person. They might want to fight and hold on for every single minute, and that to them is, obviously, if
It's
we wanted to live
personal,
forever, we didn't go about it the right way.
That's for sure. I don't think living forever would be very great. The Arabian Bard says, awesome tax. Oh, the awesome tax. Love seeing you two together. It was hard. Anxiety day to day.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad we got to see it. I'm glad you got to spend your morning with us. All right, I love you.
Yeah, I hope that turns itself around real quick.
Can you scroll down a little bit? There you go.
That's scrolling up.
Caddy did.
For the record.
Can you make it go down?
Caddy did. Good to see you. Tommy, I'm so grateful for the love and support I got in the Facebook group for my family who lost my 20-year-old cousin. Aww. You should be proud of the community you have built.
You know what? It's this is an incredible group of people, and I am. There is not a minute that goes by that I don't think to myself how proud I am of this. Honestly, this is an overwhelming thing. I had an email. I sent something. I don't know who. I can't remember who I responded to now, but I sent someone an email this morning, and that was the response. I said, I don't know that I've ever been more proud of this boat.
Johnny Lambino, what's going on? What's up, Tommy? Cute
hello?
pup. Cute pup.
Who is?
The thumbnail for Johnny
Oh,
Bambino
okay.
is a cute pup.
There you go. I didn't see the thumbnail.
It is a very cute pup.
It really does
Look
look
at
like a
it.
very
It's
cute
just
pup.
like just being such a good dog. Aw. I'm a sucker for cute stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think we might wrap it up here, people.
We are right about that time. We are up on that time. I've got a couple of things scheduled for the day. I've got a few things that I've got to take care of.
You got any closing remarks or concepts
I
to
do.
conclude it with?
I do. Lino, we're grateful for you too. Yeah, I do have a couple of closing thoughts.
Did I just see Chase the Heat? No, just kidding.
Okay.
Johnny L got me confused.
Yes, yeah, that'll do it.
I got so excited. I missed my uncle. Shout out to
Her name is Cookie. Cookie's a beautiful dog. Thank you.
Shout out to Cookie, and also shout out to the great Johnny Scoville. Love you, Dad.
Johnny Scoville. Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
You saw a typo in your last comment. You're letting it go. That's progress.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
awesome.
You know when you're really letting it go, Elena, is you're gonna intentionally put one up as we're leaving. You got it in you.
MC.
I've got big faith in you.
What's going on, Frank?
Franklin MC, love you, my brother. All right, people, that's gonna be a wrap. But I will be seeing you all in about 10 hours or so on the boat. Tonight's gonna be a really good one, by the way.
If I was...
You don't want to miss tonight's lifeboat.
Yeah, don't miss tonight's lifeboat. It's going to be something else, if you know what I mean.
This is actually a very, very, very cool show. So don't miss tonight's. You know what it's about?
Do I know?
Yeah.
No.
About an hour and 20 minutes.
Beta, I have one more comment to read. Beta says, inspired by Ben's interview with Tara, Spanx, Tommy, what kind of animal would you be if you could choose? Tommy, a cat? Question mark?
Yeah, I would be a cat.
I would be something that swims.
No, I would definitely be a cat. However,
I don't think I would want to be an amphibian. I think I would want to be a sea creature.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I would want to be able to pick who owned me. It would be very important that I knew who owned me, but I'd like to be a cat.
I would not want to be owned. I would like to be the king of my domain. Maybe like a giant squid. I don't know. That sounds really gross and alien.
You have not met Squirrel, apparently.
No, probably, yeah, just some kind of sea creature that's regular.
She is the queen of her domain. Tina Marie, tell me, did you ever dream it would be like this? No, not at all. Here's the thing, people, and you may not believe this, but I didn't have any dreams for the lifeboat. I really didn't. I
had dreams of traveling the country and going to schools and talking to children. And parents.
I mean, what I wanted to do was try to help kids not do dope. That was what and this was just a plan to keep me sober until I was off probation, and then I could go around and do that. This was just a way to try to keep me sober. I figured if every time I thought about getting high, I would just go and do a show where I would go talk to people every time I felt like and in the beginning I did. I was going live constantly. But there was no dream of this, and then when we hit 1,000 people, it got really real for me. I was like, holy crap. And then when we hit 2,000, I would say to people, I got thousands of people. Once we hit 2,000, then there were thousands of people. I was blown away at that. I never thought it would get, bad. I didn't. And now that it is where it is, I can't wait to see where we're at in 5 or 10 years.
Well, I tell you what, the lifeboat's taking me places right now. I'm going to take the lifeboat places one day. That's definitely the goal.
I love that.
That being said, one more time, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a difference.
Yep.
Thank you all for your support.
Have a great night. It wasn't even a stepping stone so much, or a great day. I think I do enough of these nights. It wasn't a stepping stone. I mean, a stepping stone. What it was just a way to try to stay sober. And then I realized that everybody needed it. Have a